Welcome. Today is Sunday, April 26th, 9 p.m. Eastern, episode 228 of the Sundering. What do we have on deck for you lovely folks tonight? Well, we have our usual gaming, geek, and general nerd news, and we also have a guest to talk about a little haiku warrior. Welcome to the Sundering.
The Sundering is an explicit podcast which may not be suitable for children, people with delicate sensibilities, animals under 10 pounds, certain towns in Idaho, citizens of Liechtenstein, members of the clergy, fans of the show Cop Rock, and vegans.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
Well, let's start the insanity.
This is the Sundering Podcast with your host, Seraphis.
Self-replicating bacon. I don't like fat chicks cutting my hair because we wouldn't want it to get weird or anything.
Rapist.
He adds to the show and everyone gets upset. This is great.
I know they say this, but I don't care.
And Zia.
Hi, Slurp. I'm so full of hate. I'm not sure what a podcast is. Slavery is different than a fish.
I don't know what to do with my hands. Anyway, I thought I'd begin by reading a poem by Shakespeare, but then I thought, why the fuck should I? He never reads my stuff. I'm Seraphis.
No.
And then he has more bowling trophies than you. It's Rafist.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah. She likes smart, funny, self-deprecating men, which explains why she is the third chair on the show. It's Zia.
Hello.
And our guest tonight, creator of Drinking Quest and Haiku Warrior. He is friends with a meme. I understand he crashed a bachelor party. He recently spawned, as well as is running on no sleep, which really explains why he agreed to come back on the show tonight. And so, without further ado, it's Jason Anarchy, creator of Drinking Quest, and now Haiku Warrior.
Hello.
So everyone who's watching this on video will see Jason's lovely avatar, that's exactly the way he looks in real life.
And it'll make the Twitter people comfortable too. That's my Twitter avatar.
All right. Good stuff. Good times.
Yeah, that's actually Chuglocks, the barroom hero from Drinking Quest. So he's like a bigger, dumber, drunker Conan the Barbarian.
He's my kind of guy.
I remember him. Yep.
So we are going up against Heroes of the Dorm, Game of Thrones, the hockey playoffs, I think even the NBA playoffs. So, Zia, who said F it to all that and is hanging out with us tonight?
Let's take a look here at this chat room.
Nobody likes those things. Come on, everyone's here.
Nobody. So we have Alessander, Adam, Broom, Will, Derry, Dragaltha. I'm going to say the whole thing because it's fun. Dragaltha, EC, Homebrewed, Joe B, Loka, Left Tit, Poikle I haven't seen Poikle in a while. Hey, buddy. Thunder, Toasty Postacan, and VD.
Velvet Dove for everyone. We also have
VD in the channel. Yeah, Velvet Dove.
We do not have venereal diseases in our chat room, folks. You can enjoy watching and hanging out. So real quick, before we get into the fun stuff, ads, Amazon, Newegg, Jinx, and Groupon. If you click through those links, and then you go purchase your stuff, we just take a little bit from the man, and it helps us pay service costs, so we appreciate it also. And also, if you drop us a review or give us a rating on iTunes or Stitcher, it helps people find us, and then it helps people click through our links, so that way we can take the money, and Ray can buy more Gatorade. Pay server costs. Pay server costs. We're not funding Ray's Gatorade problem.
Why not?
It's not necessarily saying that it's a problem, but it could quite possibly be a problem. So, yeah. Right, I don't know what I need to do. I don't know what I need to do with you anymore. I don't.
You didn't give me a chance to say it.
You
literally just interrupted me from saying it. I said, I was going to say so. And then you're just like, Arr. So, Seraph, what are you drinking over there?
Well, why don't you ask our guest, you selfish son of a bitch?
Oh, Jesus. All right, fine.
God damn.
All right, well, I've got a whiskey.
Wait. Sir Anarchy. What are you drinking over there, sir? And how have you been?
I've been really well, and I'm drinking the manliest of all drinks, whiskey and Diet Coke. Bushmills specifically, so some Protestant whiskey, and so far so good. Can you hear the ice clinking in my glass?
I can. That's awesome.
Okay,
That tells us it's real.
Yeah.
I just have a whiskey
Excellent
stone.
sounds like
so.
that in whiskey.
Clink, 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 clink. All right, well, I'll go to Seraph now.
Okay, well, I am drinking once again my New Holland beer barrel bourbon. Look, I'm even going to show the bottle off. It's a very nice bottle.
Classy.
Beer barrel bourbon. It's delicious. I highly recommend it. They are not paying me, though they should, because it is amazing, and I will sell the shit out of some New Holland beer barrel bourbon. I have just been living in a geek's paradise this past week. So I've watched Daredevil. I'm up to episode 4 now. I've watched episodes 1 through 3.
I guess it's good if you've been watching.
It is really good. Like I fear binge watching on it because once I finish watching it on Netflix, it's over, and I gotta wait until next year for it to come back. So, taking my time. I'm up to season 4 of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which is a ridiculously awesome show.
Hell yeah! I've been preaching it for years.
I am hooked, Charlie. Goddamn illiteracy. I downloaded Final Fantasy Record Keeper on my phone, which is a really like. I'm kind of addicted to it when I go walking during my lunch break at work, so that's bad. And I started up a Barbarian in Season 3 of Diablo 3. And our guild, Felling Snot, is 8 out of 10 in Heroic Blackrock Foundry. And we're actually looking for DPS people, so if you want a DPS and you need a guild, as strange as it sounds, we're looking for DPS. But the real geek thing is, here, I'm going to show this off. This is my Marvel Collector Core box. So it's kind of like Loot Crate, but it's all Marvel stuff. So this is the first box. And I gotta open this because, first off, look at the size of this thing I got here. It's the Hulkbuster. It's huge. It's as big as my fucking head.
Hold it closer. What is this? That's ridiculous.
I know.
That's really cool.
So I got that, and then, you know, I got this little like thing here, and it's like a little cute little Ultron. It's like I don't even want to take over the world. Look, I'm just smiling and happy. And
was this like Loot Crate?
It's kind of like Loot Crate. I signed up for it. My wife was like, "Don't tell me you signed up for another thing." I'm like, "Shush! It's every 2 months. Oh, it's okay." And then I got this shirt, which I think is pretty cool. I mean, I got that. That's the thing. And then it comes with a comic book.
So it's all like Marvel themed stuff.
Yeah, it's all Marvel themed. Oh, and then like I got let me see. I forgot. They also gave me they gave me a patch. See, there's a patch. It's got Ultron, and they gave me a pin.
Captain America pin?
Yeah, it's Captain America pin. So yeah, so I got like a whole
lot of stuff.
I know, and then I got.
They just keep giving me stuff.
Yeah, and then I got Loot Crate, and then look, they gave me a little inflatable crown, which my daughter mostly stole, which I have.
I feel like it's appropriate that you would have a crown.
I mean. I also have, it's like a Dungeons and Dragons bow tie.
Huh.
Oh.
It's got dragons and like a little D20s on them. I got I'm pretty excited about this. I don't know what I'm going to wear it with yet.
Everything.
But they also gave me a Game of Thrones USB stick, which, I mean, I could always use more USB sticks. And then there's like, this is probably the coolest thing ever. A Princess Bride playing card deck.
Oh, want it.
And then I figured that someone would probably. I mean, I never read Harry Potter, but Harry Potter luggage tags. I mean,
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I never did that. And then, I forgot. There's something else in it. But yeah, so like, yes, I never read Harry Potter. I never watched any of the movies. Well, I watched the first one because at the time I was dating a girl. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what the 9, 3, 4. I don't know what
9 3/4. That's the platform where they get on the train to hug.
Oh, okay. Maybe I did remember that from the first movie. Anyway,
I could remember the term platform.
There's a couple of folks who are asking in the channel, like, for this Marvel, like where to sign up and if there's a referral code.
If there's no referral code right now. It doesn't look like they're doing any referrals. But if you go to Marvel Collector Core, you just do a Google search, you should be able to find it. So I mean, dude, the box was fucking ginormous. So yeah, I mean, I signed up for like the whole year, Or no, I signed up for like 6 months or something. Or I don't know what I did. I signed up for something. And yeah. So either way, I got a ton of shit, and I'm drinking tonight. And I got a guy who makes games on our show, and I'm drinking with him. So I mean, cheers. I mean, it's a good fucking week. Ray,
right,
we'll save ladies for last. Ladies for last. Ray, what about you?
I was gonna say, since she's got a lot of fanciness to talk about. You missed a lot last week, by the way.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, Ray, hold on. Just for everyone, the website is collectorcore, corps.com, by the way.
Toasty Posty was kind enough to put it in the channel for you.
Good job, Toasty.
For us. I didn't post it either, so thank you, Toasty.
This week I actually went and applied for my passport, which was a pain in the ass.
Oh.
I filled out everything like online and then printed it out, and I had a problem with trying to get a PDF thing because I accidentally pressed the preview button as opposed to the finished one, so the preview like form is secured, so you can't edit or print it. So I'm like, why would they do this? I'm sitting here just huffing and puffing, and I find out it was my mistake. And you also can't use your debit card that runs as credit to pay for it. It's either cash or straight up debit card with like a digit pin. So that sucked. Went all the way there, and then I had to go to the bank and come back.
Sons of bitches.
But it's there. Everything's out, and I'll be getting that within less than 6 weeks, according to them.
Allegedly.
And where's the first place you're going to go out of the country when you can?
What do you think? Mexico.
Mexico. Ron, are you going to become Ron Mexico?
Sure.
Okay.
I don't know what that means. But I've also been playing a lot of Destiny. Actually went over to Dan's house and we did a little bit of Xbox One landing, playing an online game. So it's not really landing, but whatever.
Excellent.
And wrecked some shit. It was fun. Dan was also laughing about you and you guys' relationship there, Seraph. It's just like, I don't understand why we always hate on each other every time we get brought up, but he thought it was funny too. GTA 5 for the PC.
You should just love each other.
Exactly. GTA 5 for the PC. I've been playing with Chili, and I just kill her constantly, and she loves it.
I feel that is not a healthy relationship.
It is. I was showing her stuff. But one of the terms, like it says, like, you know, rapist, like, you know, scoped you or whatever. She screenshotted it. It just says rapist battered you. She's like, I'm gonna use this as blackmail. I'm like, oh, great. But other than that, I think that's about it gaming wise. I don't think I played any other games. So, yeah. Let's move on to stuff.
Fancy Zia hasn't given.
That's why I said stuff.
Yeah, do stuff.
Fancy Zia.
Right. So I am currently partaking in a little bit of coffee. Because I'm a little bit tired, so I'm drinking just a smidge of coffee. And let's see, I had a really nice week. I was gone, as a lot of folks know. I was on vacation. I went on a cruise.
She went sailing.
I really didn't go sailing.
It sounds fancier if you say sailing.
Okay. Well, no, I mean, I would go sailing, but we didn't have the opportunity. Yeah, sailing's
You went yachting.
Okay. Anyhow, went on a cruise. It was all right.
Did you get helicoptered? Did you get helicoptered to the actual cruise liner?
No. I just was transported by limo to the port.
Jesus H. Christ.
I'm just kidding. No, I really wasn't. But no, it was all right. It went to the Bahamas and it was supposed to go to Key West, and our boat got an oil leak, and so it didn't even go to one of the ports. So it was all right. It was an all right cruise, but it was vacation, which is nice. Otherwise, just been playing a lot of Final Fantasy Type 0, and
I have a question.
Yes.
Were you vacationing on an oil tanker?
BP's oil tanker. BP or Exxon?
I feel like it's too soon, guys.
Too soon.
All right, well, what about Exxon? Exxon was like 2 decades ago. How about that? You were on Exxon's cruise ship?
Also, animals in the ocean can't actually hear us say these things, so they're not going to get hurt by it.
Yeah, well, anyhow, that really was my week. I was on a boat, so there's not too terribly much to really report. It was all right.
Did you see any whales?
No, I saw some dolphins, and I got to. I have a
Wait,
picture
now
with
when you
sea
say the
lion.
dolphins, are you like talking about like I don't know anyone who currently plays for the Miami Dolphins, so never mind that joke.
Ryan
Fell flat. Ryan, did you see Ryan Tannehill? All right, thank you.
Sue.
Well, he's probably still up in Detroit. Well, actually, no, he probably got the fuck out of Detroit.
Yeah.
We did leave out of Miami, so
Okay.
if the joke is there.
All right.
I'll let you have it.
Okay. Fair enough.
Cool. But that was my week. It was a nice week. I'm happy to be back and back on land though. Back with my boys.
Well. All right. So we got our interview with Jason because Jason's probably thinking, God, this is fucking boring as shit. Listen to their goddamn weeks. I don't want to.
That's all good, man. That's the format.
All right. So here we go. Interview time. Don't be scared, Jason.
It's all good. No, I got my liquid courage. So, okay.
Okay. All right. Well, now we're just unprofessional because here I am hitting the bumpers while you're talking, and I blame the alcohol at this point.
As you do.
Okay. Here we go.
Do that.
Take two.
What the hell's wrong with you? Does my ass look weird?
What is your profession? Where's my money?
What do you think, I'm some kind of pervert or something?
Am I missing a tooth?
That name sounds like royalty. Are you royalty?
Wow, what does that mean?
Do you suck dick?
What's not to love?
What's your excuse?
Are you off your fucking meds or something?
Are you shook up? Are you nervous?
All right. So we got a
nervous?
series. Well, I mean, it's probably a fair question, but we have a series of questions, each more deadly than the previous.
Right, bring it.
All right. Well, so for everyone who we want to catch everyone up. So Jason, you are probably right now best known for your game Drinking Quest.
Yes.
For people who have been living under a rock, or in North Dakota, why don't you tell us a bit about Drinking Quest first of all?
Sure, yeah. It's so the idea is it's a drinking game and a tabletop RPG. So it's like a simple Dungeons and Dragons, but when your character dies in the game, you have to chug your drink in real life to continue. So the whole game's kind of built around that mechanic. So drinking games are typically, drink as much as you can, as fast as you can, and someone's passed out after 10 minutes. But this one's kind of like a more of a paced drinking game. So you play your campaign over 2 or 3 hours. And there's mechanisms for no double chugs and things like that. So it's a light drinking game and a light RPG, but it's a really heavy comedy game. It's such a silly premise. There's a lot you can get away with that. So there's 3 games in the series. We did about 5 runs. They're mostly out of print, but we just came out with Drinking Quest Trilogy Edition last year, in November. So it's all 3 games in one big box. Everything's been remastered, colorized, and there's a 4th game's worth of new stuff in there too. So yeah, so that's what Drinking Quest is all about.
Which I can't find it at the moment, but Jason actually said, listening to our show cures hangovers, and I can't find the map now. But he signed that for us, and I should have had it at the ready. God damn my illiteracy.
Was this a PAX story?
No, you actually signed it when you sent out the and I'm like off camera now trying to see if it's like readily
He's
available.
really desperately looking.
Awesome.
Yeah, but no, you signed it when did the Kickstarter.
Kickstarter for Trilogy Edition. Yeah. Okay. I was on the back of a map.
Yeah, you signed it on the back of a map, and I can't find it. God damn it. But
Yeah. The thing with those maps, it was originally we got most of the stretch goals, but we didn't get the cloth map stretch goal, and so I offered to sub in the cloth map for the bottle opener instead of that, and it cost a bit more. But then we got the cloth maps, and they're made out of Tyvek cloth, which is good because it's beer resistant, but isn't particularly cloth-like. And so I kind of felt bad about that, so I made a point of signing all of them. There were like 800 or so. And but when I got to yours, I was like, okay, I'll add a pretty funny message with this one. It's all coming now.
Aha!
It's been in the midst of a pile of boxes stacked to the ceiling doing this. It's great.
Found it. All right, here it is. Here's the map. Right there. Drinking Quest.
So that's scientific evidence right there.
Yeah, and boom.
I can drink as much as I want right now.
Boom. Listen to the Sundering podcast, cures hangovers. Boom.
Seraph, I want you to test its beer resistancy right now.
I'm not drinking beer, I'm drinking whiskey, so I cannot test the beer resiliency of this map. But
yeah, that hasn't been tested.
But it is there. Proof. Boom. All right, so you have a new game, Haiku Warrior, that is up on Kickstarter, and
Yes.
I'm going to put that link in the chat room for everyone. And it looks like it just hit its funding today.
Yes, yeah, it was a big day today.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah, it's
such a good feeling.
This was so the idea behind Haiku Warrior. So it's a simple tabletop RPG told entirely through haiku. So it's another high concept, kind of funny RPG, but it's also kind of the opposite of Drinking Quest. So Drinking Quest is kind of loud and obnoxious, whereas Haiku Warrior is kind of quiet and introspective. But haikus are fun. There's still a lot you can do with that, and the haikus are a mix of great punchlines, some non sequitur humor, and a bunch of unexpected, honest introspection. So I try and kind of surprise people on every card. So there's a few samples on there, and there's some gameplay details. And we just hit the funding today, and now we can start doing the stretch goals, which I'm really excited about. So the stretch goals, I have 14 celebrity guests, people that I admire and think are totally awesome. And so the idea is that all of these people are going to write a haiku that will create a new card in basically an extra expansion dungeon that'll be in the game. So the main game has 6 quests that form a campaign, and then this will be kind of besides that sort of thing. So it'll be like a dungeon of kind of randomness. So the idea was that I wanted to get a bunch of guests that were kind of the top of the underground in terms of popularity. So Drinking Quest was, it started off as an independent game. It still is, the series. But I just the first game I released, just not knowing what the hell I was doing, and just I worked a second job for a year. I saved up $6,000, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna piss this away and do a run of games. We'll see what happens, and it just took off right away, and it was really great. So I've got a lot of respect for the underground and kind of DIY mentality. So most of the guests fit that description. I'm just saying most. I just want to make sure. Oh, actually, there's some pretty like some comic book people, like Jim Zub. He's the first one listed there. Like he writes for Marvel and DC, and well, basically every comic book publisher. He writes all the big sword and sorcery comics kind of thing. So yeah, there's people that are genuinely popular with big companies behind them, and there's a lot of people that just totally excel at the indie scene. I could totally go down this list and just say great things about everybody, but I should probably cut myself off there because I could go on for about 10-15 minutes.
I feel like we need to hit that 16,500 goal. That way, so Zia, who is our resident haiku expert, because we always end our show with a haiku, can submit one.
I know. I'm sitting here because I'm trying to decide which tier I want to pick, and I'm like, oh, I got to think of a really good one.
Most of the ones we do can't even be printed on anything that's legitimate.
Well, that's true. Zia can be fancy though, and maybe give something that is more Haiku Warrior friendly than the Sundering friendly.
It could be something that's really suggestive, but I won't put anything that's outright raunchy. So you can allude to horrible things, but I wouldn't. I'm limiting myself by not putting like F-bombs and stuff into the game. So it's
it's smart for you not to, because then that way it can go out to more people.
Yeah, well, the main thing is it's just as a writer, I spend so much time doing this stuff, and it's I feel like if I have proper limitations, swearing is great, but it's just kind of lazy. I'll swear in a podcast, that's great. I'll be lazy with you guys, I guess is what I'm saying. But
you be lazy with us.
It's but when it comes to something that I'm selling to somebody, I need a few things like that. It's sort of like quality control. I need to be funny, because it's funny, not because. There's swear words, so that's usually what I go after.
I respect that a lot.
Or maybe I should just have one card that's just totally filthy and just swear words. And
it's like the bomb. It's like the little mine and the.
just one card that's just this filthy orgy card, and just.
Filthy orgy. Wow.
Yeah, that kind of shut everything down right away. Eh? I should at least make that an unofficial card. That's a funny.
I'm trying to think of how to work a filthy orgy into a haiku now.
Well, it's 5 words right there. Filthy orgy card. That's perfect.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We have a good start now.
Boom.
Magic the Gathering with their unglued cards, where they were unofficial sort of things, just for fun. not really meant for like winning, I guess I should say.
Yeah,
Get this
a
person a
demo
drink.
or something. I've never done anything like that, but that could be good.
So, how quickly could we, could a drunk like myself turn Haiku Warrior into a drinking game?
Oh, well, if you play Drinking Quest, the mechanics are more or less the same, but
Okay.
they're a little more complex to make up for the fact that you're not supposed to chug your drink when you die in the game. But you could play it that you chug your drink when you die in the game, and then it's basically Drinking Quest 4, so to speak.
Nice. All right, I'm in. All in for that.
And it's also a one-player game, so I wouldn't suggest... It's 1 to 4 players, so just make sure you're not doing that with the one-player game, and then all will be well. My lawyers advised me to throw disclaimers like that every once in a while. So
yeah, I try not to drink by myself. Then it just gets weird.
It's different if it's over a podcast. I'm hanging out with you guys right now.
Yeah.
So, or I'm half not by myself or something. I don't know, but it seems okay.
Our chat room apparently is just figuring out that, Jason, you are Canadian.
I am Canadian, yeah.
They're really excited.
Yeah, I missed my chance to chime in there, but when somebody said they were going to use their passport to go to Mexico, I was going to say, you want to come to Canada, we'll meet up and play Drinking Quest or something.
Well,
yeah, I'm just outside of Toronto, so.
Well, Ray is actually going to become a Canadian soon.
Hey, that's awesome. All right.
Yep, I'm moving there.
Oh, where are you moving in Canada?
Somewhere around Calgary. I don't know the exact place, but
okay, fair enough.
We're horrible at geography on this show.
Is it Red Deer?
What's that?
Is it Red Deer?
I don't know.
Place that you're moving? That seems like the place that everyone's always moving in Canada.
It's wherever my chick is. That's the more important part, I guess.
I like how you don't even know where she lives in Canada.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
Well, I haven't been there yet.
You just gotta show up.
It's hard for me to go there if I didn't have a passport. That's why I'm working on it.
I want you to get off the plane with just a sign that says, "I'm here for my chick."
Yeah, I'm here for my broad.
Yeah, Canada's very big. Just come here and you'll figure it out when you get here.
They're nice.
That's what I'm doing.
It's big. It's really big.
All right.
90% of the population is by the U.S. border, so it's big with not a lot of stuff.
So let me ask you this: so you have a lot of card-driven games. What about? Have you ever played? Well, I assume pretty much everyone's played Cards Against Humanity. Have you played?
Yeah, I have played it. It's always that game that it's like an icebreaker. So when you have people you don't know very well, somebody kind of busts that out. So I've played it in those kind of social situations.
So what is your favorite card out of there?
In Cards Against Humanity?
Yeah.
Oh boy. I probably the first one that I can name. Let me think. I think there's one that just says goblins, but I don't think that's my favorite. No, I should have some really filthy answer here, but yeah, I honestly can't think of any other cards. I don't know why.
Medieval times.
That's a tough question because whenever I think about Cards Against Humanity and my favorite card, the only one I can always think of is Three Dicks at Once. But that's not my favorite card.
See.
I feel for you. I thought that question was a little tough.
Well, I mean, I just wanted to throw it out there because
it was a good question. There could potentially be epic answers with that.
I mean, mine recently is Pixelated Bukkake because I had to explain to my very conservative neighbor's wife what it was, and that was amusing because I was drunk and he was trying to beat around the bush with it, and I just said it's a whole bunch of dudes spraying a chick. All right, let's just move on. And She had that nervous laugh, like, oh dear God, what have I gotten myself into? So I mean, that was fun. That was good times. And my neighbor, who is not as conservative, spit out his drink, and he was cracking up. So I mean, that's my favorite recently. But I just love social type games, and so Jason, when did you decide that you just said, you know what, I'm going to become a tabletop game designer?
All right. I'm gonna go back pretty far here. I guess it was
the Wayback Machine.
It's not that far. Let's see. Okay, it was 2010, and I was really into BioShock. I love BioShock. It's one of my top 5 all-time favorite video games. And I played it, and I'm like, holy fuck, this is great. I want to know everything there is to know about it. And I saw that it was heavily influenced by the book Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand. Is that Anybody want to go on a rant about that before I keep going?
I have no idea.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's one of those really, really divisive books. Anyway,
it is.
It's this 1,200-page tome that was written in the 50s.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this influenced Bioshock. I'm going to read it. I started reading it, and I loved it, and it was a great book. It's got all these like big like quasi-religious themes, and it's a book that people use as an example to justify the 1% kind of keeping all the money. And I don't necessarily agree with those things. And you know, I grew up poor, and you know that's not something I necessarily believe in. But I still love the book because it was just 1,200 pages of just basically the benefits. And not like in a motivational speaker kind of way, but it really kind of made you admire hard work and kind of working towards something big. And the metaphor in the book is this guy Henry Reardon, who makes this new kind of metal called Reardon metal. And so the whole book is kind of he makes this and that's his passion, and all this stuff. So I kind of wanted to make my own Reardon metal after I read this book. And then months later, I went to this wedding, and it was near the end of the night, and we're all drunk off a free scotch. And I had this one friend of mine, a friend I've known for years, and he's just like, hey, you're always making these kind of RPG engines to play with your friends, and you're always getting drunk. Why don't you make a game that incorporates drinking into the game? And I probably said something like, oh, yeah, whatever. Then a few months later, after that even, I was commuting to work, and I was like, no, that's a really good idea. I can do that. So I had, I went to school for business management. I did a lot of operations management stuff in the newspaper industry, so I had I had a lot of business know-how already, and I just always was a DM, and I would always just use my own custom systems. So I had I knew how to make a good game, and I knew how to get it out there. So I was like, yes, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. Nice. And basically, when I thought of the name Drinking Quest, it was just so plain, and couldn't possibly be anything other than what it is. I knew I had something there, so. Yeah, and it was about a year lead-up time, and I released it fourth quarter 2011. And I've been able to do a game a year since then, so far so good.
Very cool. So
it's really fascinating. Like your big, what inspired you? That's really cool.
Yeah, thanks. It's if you ever want to read Atlas Shrugged, read it just to hate it. It's just one of those books.
Yeah.
Where it's one of those, just read it so you can talk about it. But it's 1,200 pages, and 100 of those pages is this really long speech that one of the characters makes. So it's definitely not an easy read, but I don't know, there's just something about it. I just love it. I don't know why.
That's one I have not.
It really made me want to work at something.
I know what it is. I know about the book. I know what it's about. The themes. I've never tackled reading it because I know it's a hefty thing. So.
Yeah, I've never read it. I'm looking at it on Amazon right now. I'm like.
Yeah, I knew what it was. Well, because literature stuff for me. So I knew what it was.
If you visit me in Canada, I'll loan you my copy.
I'm gonna actually jump in.
No, go for it. Go
Sarah,
for it.
because I know you're just trucking away.
No. That's fine. Because now I'm looking at Atlas Shrugged, and I'm like,
You're like, yeah.
What
this
is
could
this?
I'm keeping the conversation super light. Yeah.
It's gotten real deep, and now I'm half drunk, and I'm looking at books. This is a bad sign.
Yes. I'm actually curious what made you go with haikus. What was the inspiration for that? And because haikus are fun and they're so simple.
It's comedy's my comfort zone in the first place. So yeah, you're right. Haikus are fun. That was a big part of it. And it was basically, sorry, I'm confused with the names. I don't have the video here, but one of you guys mentioned, what kind of card games do you like? Because I make card games. Strangely enough, I have nothing against card games, but that's usually not what I play. So the card games in Drinking Quest, it's not a traditional card game because the cards don't really interact with each other. You're not playing one card against another card. No. They're basically just to kind of take the role of the dungeon master, so nobody has to run the game while they're drinking. So I kind of had this really interesting setup where the cards are the DM. And one of the things that worked with the Drinking Quest engine was that it, on a technical level, it worked really well for a one-player game. But at the same time, I didn't want to make a one-player drinking game because that's just really depressing. So I was like, I want to turn this into something. How can I, turn this one-player engine into, what's a good theme? I already had the engine done and how I would expand it to, not have the drinking in it, because it needed other things that were good, if you're not going to have that chugging your drink mechanic in there. And then I don't know, one day I don't remember where I was or what I was thinking, but it was just as soon as I thought haikus, I'm like, that's the whole game. It's haikus meets RPG, and I'm like, Haiku Warriors is the perfect name. I can't do better than that. And the first thing I did, with the first 3 games I released, whenever I did the cover art, it was always an afterthought, and it was always the last thing I did. And apparently that's the dumbest idea, like, because you want your cover to be awesome.
The cover
to
is
sell
awesome.
the game.
It's really pretty.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. So I just like, okay, I'm gonna get the cover for this and just hang it on my wall, and I went crazy designing this. I've never worked like so many consecutive hours on a game. I came out with it fast, but it was a really dense couple of months where I was working on this to get that engine out there. And I had this, and that's before the art or anything like that, like in the game. But yeah, I got the guy who did the artwork, Claudio Pozzaz. He's a big Dungeons and Dragons artist. He's in the new 5th edition books. He does like Lord of the Rings games, and he's just done a whole lot of stuff. And yeah, I emailed him up. I'm like, hey, can you do the cover? And within a day, he had that cover back, and it was pretty amazing. And I sent him like a crude mock-up of what it should look like. And I'm actually going to post that on an update with Kickstarter tomorrow or the next day. And it's really funny because my drawing is really shitty, and then his is awesome. So he totally rolled with that. And then from there, I just kind of scouted out a few other artists to do the in-game art, and I wanted kind of like a minimalist kind of scratchy style. And again, I wanted to, I want the whole game to be more about kind of implying things, and I want the players to kind of fill in the blanks with their minds. Whether it be stupid jokes or if they're playing one player and having legitimate philosophical kind of moments. So it that fit really well. So yeah, Deanna Laver and Aaron Plants do the most of the art for that game. And Aaron Plants, I have a whole bunch of stories about him later too. I have another project that I just launched actually earlier this week that I can talk about. But yeah, and then from there I did the Kickstarter, and then here we are. So yeah, so back to my original point, I guess. I'm not a huge fan of card games, but the cards as the DM mechanic, it's just been working really well. There was just more I could do with that, so that's where Haiku Warrior came from. Whew, there you have it. All right.
Thank you. Yeah.
Stuck again. I'll be right.
Yeah. No, I really actually like I'm glad you mentioned the cover art because I thought it was really nice.
Yeah, so I actually did the thing where the cover art is like the best piece of art in the game. Not to say that the rest of the art is bad, but it was
no.
It's I finally went with an industry standard thing for once. Not that it really hurt the other games as much, but I'm like, okay, I'm just going to try this time. One thing I don't do with my games, which is overwhelmingly what everybody does with the industry, is I don't have like a huge, oversized, inflated box that's 3 times bigger than it actually needs to be. So I like to keep my games, kind of portable and not taking up a lot of shelf space, and everything's just the exact size it needs to be. So they're always heavier than people expect. So they're very brick-like. So this will be another brick-like game.
Yeah, I definitely like the portability of Drinking Quest to be able to take with me when I travel, and I don't have to carry around this ginormous box that's like 5 times the size of my head. So yes, very much appreciated.
You gotta get one of those suitcases that's like handcuffed to your arm. Be like, this is very important when I'm going to the bar tonight.
My dice, my character sheets, all the cards.
Yeah, because like I'm gonna be going and hang out with friends up in the cabins in northern Georgia here. And we're
sounds
thinking
like
about
a horror movie.
It really does. It really does. And this may come off, but we're trying to decide. What are we going to do up there besides peel each other's flesh off? No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. But I was like, I'm bringing Drinking Quest, so I'm like, bring alcohol, and it was my wife is like, but we're also going to be bringing our kids, and they got a lot of stuff. I'm like, Drinking Quest is small. It's not like we're bringing like. We're not like bringing Monopoly 80th Anniversary Edition or anything, all right? Just chill out. I could put it in my backpack.
You could open up that game and put Drinking Quest in there if you wanted to hide it.
Yeah, that's true.
Like hollow out a Bible or something?
Oh, no. So the plan is, like, all the friends who were going up there, they all have kids around the same age, so we're just going to put them to bed early, and then we're all just going to drink.
They can play Drinking Quest, but with milk.
No, right. No, we're gonna put the kids to bed, and then we're gonna play some Drinking Quest. It's gonna be good stuff.
Why is the milk amber colored and foamy? I don't understand.
It's special milk. Special milk that comes from barrels of deliciousness. So yes,
barrel milk is best milk.
Yes. So yeah, barrel milk. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm counting haikus. Yeah, now I'm thinking of haikus.
Isn't it fun? I did want to, because I think Yes, I did tweet you, so because I'm glad I did. There is a bar here in Milwaukee called 42 Lounge where we played. Me, my husband, and a friend of ours, Daniel, got to play Drinking Quest, and it was really cool. So,
awesome.
Did you know? First of all, did you even know it was in Milwaukee? Like, did somebody contact you and say, "Hey, I want to have your game at this place. Do you mind?" Or do you know where it's being played, like at bars or?
Oh, sometimes I do. Like, it's got like there's major distribution all over the place, so it's stores order it and then it kind of gets out there, and I have nothing to do with it. Like I deal direct, pretty often. If someone emails me and they want to go outside of a distributor, it's a bit more work. You have to email, but it's a better cut for everybody, kind of thing. So if there's any stores listening, drinkingquest@gmail.com is the short one. So just email me there. But yeah, it's sometimes I know where these gaming bars are, but other times it's just like, oh wow, it's being played, in this kind of random place, and it's a lot of fun to hear stuff like that for sure.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was like a dang. I didn't know that. Like they're supposed to call me.
There's so many gaming cafes kind of popping up everywhere. Yeah. Like it's such a fast rising trend right now. So, which is great because it's a great hobby, and don't get me wrong, I love video games, but yeah, it's I think people are kind of sick of. Not sick of online multiplayer, but they want to interact with people more a little bit. So it's kind of taking a bit of that place.
I'm curious if like once it's more like out there and everything, if somebody makes it on the tabletop simulator game for Steam, because it has every tabletop game out there on there basically.
Yeah,
people
I think
just make stuff.
Yeah, like people have mentioned it. Like I've heard about that a lot actually. And I'm open to the idea. I just don't know how it works, and I just don't have the time right now to put into it. I was
gonna say it's usually just people that do it like free mod style.
Yeah, like fan service.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because like they have such obscure games on there. I'm just like, man, like I could easily see that being on there.
So that kind of brings me up. Like one of our listeners actually sent in a question, which we're kind of alluding to, like where tabletop is kind of making a bigger comeback recently, especially at some of these gaming bars. What other types of like tabletop games do you play outside of your own games, of course? That you
sure. Yeah. I'll talk a bit of old and a bit new. So the game that got me into tabletop gaming, like I've always liked tabletop games since I was a kid, and I've always. I was a nerdy only child until I was 12, and then I had a sister that was born. So I had a lot of time to myself, and I always needed a reason to get friends together, I guess. But I just enjoyed it. So I always play tabletop games, and I always just make all these tabletop games anyway. So when I was 8 years old, I made a Legend of Zelda themed tabletop game called Ganon's Bad Day, and I made tabletop games of the first 6 Star Trek movies and stuff like that. So. And I made a Maniac Mansion tabletop game. I think that was one of my favorites when I was a kid.
Maniac Mansion was
Maniac Mansion.
Good
what?
stuff.
That was one of my favorites. That's great stuff.
I forgot all about that game.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about it too until I mentioned it. I was just remembering that kind of era when I was making all these. And then, but anyway, the game that got me into RPGs, I think it was like 10 or 11. I got a copy of Milton Bradley's Hero Quest, and it just changed my life. It was just the best. It's kind of like a simpler Dungeons and Dragons, but it's got like a grid-based kind of board, but every quest has a different layout, and the game comes with 14 quests in a quest book, but the last page was just a blank grid, and you could make your own quest, and that just sent me over the edge. I made hundreds of those quests, and eventually I was just making just all my own modded systems and homebrew systems, which is always a fun pun, sort of. Well, I guess I'm not talking about Drinking Quest. Anyway, so the point is, whenever I would host game night, every weekend or whenever, it would never be like any real game. It'd always just be a little of this mechanic from this game, a little of that mechanic from this game. I would commonly use Hero Quest as a base because it was such a well-designed game. So that's probably my all-time favorite board game right there. And then another big one is Lord of the Rings Risk Trilogy Edition. When I released Drinking Quest Trilogy Edition, the suffix was a bit of a nod to Lord of the Rings Risk Trilogy Edition, which I don't think was an overly popular game, but I've played that game so fucking much, it is ridiculous. So basically, when Lord of the Rings movies came out, this Risk game came out, and me and all my college roommates, we just went crazy playing it. And there was a year, I think it was 2005 or 2006, I think it was the year after college, I had this weird evening schedule, and I had these 2 friends that also had evening shifts where they worked. So we'd meet up at like 11 p.m. every night, and we have a 3-hour game of Lord of the Rings Risk Trilogy Edition until 2 in the morning.
Only 3 hours?
Those are roughly the hours, yeah. And we played it so much, we're like, you know what? We're playing so many games of Lord of the Rings Risk Trilogy Edition. Why don't we keep track of a spreadsheet of our scores and see who has the highest score over the course of a year? And so we did this spreadsheet, and then a year later we looked at it, and the scores weren't quite as interesting as the fact that we did the math, and over the course of a year we averaged it out. We played a game of Lord of the Rings Risk Trilogy Edition every day for a year, or every third day for a year. Sorry, every day would be extreme. Every third day for a year, which is quite a commitment. So that was a pretty big. That was a great year, though. That was a really fun year. And then some newer games I'm playing are Lords of Waterdeep. I just got into that a little late after. Well, it's still pretty popular, I guess, but I'm into that. I'm really digging Lords of Waterdeep and Small World. And I played Ticket to Ride for the first time a couple of weeks ago. I really like that. I'd like to play more games of that. And Machi Koro from IDW Games. That I played that for the first time too, and I absolutely loved it. And I want to play more of that. So, so those are some all-time favorites and a few new ones that I'm playing right now.
So, what's a game that has kind of popped up that I guess is like hit like some level of popularity that you've played that you're just like, nah, can't really get into this?
Yeah, I guess I don't want to trash talk any industry people, but yeah, there is one game that I just didn't have any fun playing, and maybe it was the crowd, and maybe 100 other factors. But I played Talisman once, and I know there's a lot of love behind that game, but I wasn't into it. Was not into Talisman.
Fair enough. Hey, not every game is for everybody.
I don't have a good story with it. I just
it's okay. Yeah.
It wasn't hitting the right notes that night.
No, I mean, look, I hear you. I mean, I am a big Risk fan, and my friends and I in high school, we used to play Risk every Sunday. And it would create, like, we would send people out of the room so we could, like, form alliances and make, like, backwards deals. And one guy's like, hey, I want to play with you guys. He came in, and he was just, like, so turned off by, like, the backstabbing that we would do. And he's like, I can't deal with this. He's like, this is too intense for me. I'm like, all right. It's like, Risk is stupid. I'm like, you're stupid.
I know, I have a
Get
few
out of
friends
here.
who cannot play Risk. They just are like they just hate it. So yeah,
Lord
I
of
know.
the Rings. That was the year that Dan and I had our apartment, and they played a 14-hour game. Like, it went from they modify. I think they took some rule and like they made it ridiculous. I wasn't actually there because I actually had to work, but I remember waking up and they were still playing, just being like, what the fuck? And they're all like sitting there just laughing, and there's just Mountain Dew bottles everywhere. It's like,
I didn't know there was a Lord of the Rings Risk. That's awesome.
Dude, I just looked it up. It's expensive now. You can't buy like Lord of the Rings Risk for like $20 or anything. Like, you're gonna pay like $150 for it.
Oh wow, it's that high, eh?
Yeah.
Huh. Wow. Oh, and I'm Canadian. I just dropped an A for you. All right.
Nice. Drink.
Everyone to a shot.
That Hero Quest game you were talking about on that tabletop simulator, there's hundreds of those things on there. Just
tabletop simulator?
Yeah, as an example, like, because I keep on confusing it with HeroScape, which is what I used to play back in the day too. And I was like, oh, HeroScape, which is on there too, but Hero Quest is definitely way more popular.
Yeah, I was in a used game store recently. It was my first time dropping into this place, and one of the feature games right when you walk in is an NES cartridge of Milton Bradley's Hero Quest, which was never actually a real game. It was, or maybe just released in Europe or something like that. And I was just like, holy crap, I need to buy this. And I'm like, how much is it? It's like, it's $50. And I'm like, holy crap, I need to think about this. And I'm still thinking about going back to get it. I don't have an NES. I'd have to buy one. It's, I'm that big of a fan of the series, but...
Just look it up and see if it's worth it. Maybe it's one of those games that just translated poorly.
Yeah, it's probably something like that. It's, but yeah, I don't know. It's just, if I bought an NES or like a RetroCon or whatever they're called, then that's a slope. I'd be hunting down all these old games, and that's
that can be expensive.
Yeah, actually, I've asked my wife now for one of those like Retron 5 consoles that play like the NES and Super NES.
Those are so awesome.
And my wife has actually been weary about buying it for me for birthdays, holidays, because of that fact that she's afraid I'm going to hunt down all these old games.
On the Retron 5, you can even play Game Boy games on there.
I know, and Game Boy Color. Game Boy and Game Boy Color.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, and Game Boy Color.
Yeah, it's NES, Super NES, Sega Genesis, Game Boy, and Game Boy Color.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
I know. I would.
Can't have one.
It would be bad. It would be
so
really,
good.
really bad.
So, we have a fair amount of questions to yeah.
Yeah. So, some questions from like our listeners, they want to know, knowing what you know now, what would you tell yourself if you could travel back in time at the start of your game design career?
A big part of my original business model was awful, and specifically this. So part of my original business model was I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna get a list of phone numbers of just comic and gaming stores in Canada. I'm just gonna call them all and I'm gonna tell them about the idea. And I think it's a strong enough idea; it just kind of sells itself. And I think I'm capable of doing something like that, and I can probably get a few of them that way. I didn't actually get around to ever doing that, and thank fucking God. So what happened was it just took off online, basically on the first day, and so I had very little plans for the internet, and it turned into a big part of it was just an online model, and so I never got around to cold calling individual stores. And the reason why it's good that I never did that is because, and if you're ever planning on releasing a tabletop game, this is very important to know, is that most stores don't deal with individuals, really. Like if there's a store you go to every week and you're always buying comics or you're always there playing Magic the Gathering or whatever else, that store owner should probably buy your games to be a good dude. I'm assuming he's a dude, I guess. But other than that, don't chase down individual stores. The effort to reward ratio is really low. And if it's consignment, it's even worse. So don't ever plan to cold call individual stores and just don't chase after them. So I just have a mix of online and major distribution, and I work a lot of conventions. And what you don't want to do is have absolutely no contacts and kind of get out there and do a Kickstarter as your first thing ever that you do, because then you're also using up a lot of your kind of easy leads, like friends and family kind of things. And then after you do that, then it's it's pretty tricky. So my advice for people always think Kickstarter is the easy answer. It'll I'll get discovered, I'll get famous. It doesn't really work like that. You kind of need to get yourself known first. So get a chunk of money together. Do a run of 500 games of something. Make some mistakes and just get better at it yourself. Once you've done that and you've kind of invested a little bit, by the time you're out of those 500 games, you'll have made some money back and you'll know people. And even if your game gets the worst reviews and it's a terrible experience and you just make nothing but huge mistakes the whole time, the way I always looked at it was, even if I do this, I'll still be a game designer, and that's kind of cool, and there'll be kind of games floating all over the place, in like different countries and stuff like that. I always thought that was a cool idea. So that's what I did, and that's what I recommend for other people to do. I think it's interesting, and it definitely shows you have the passion for it. And working for the money before you come out with anything is always a great idea too, because I think you'll spend it a little more wisely because you've earned it already. And then once you do that and you have the fan base, yes, do crowdfunding, sure. But wait till you have a fan base, otherwise it might be really tricky to do.
So you design games. I had another question from someone. So the next couple just sort of lead into one another, which is nice. But are you now designing games full time? Are you able to do that without having to work like a 9-to-5, or are you not?
Yeah. I've been doing this for a while. So like it's because I design, I develop, and I publish my own stuff. So that's basically 3 jobs. So pretty consistently, it's like 70, 80 hours a week. So it's basically family time and working in my basement kind of thing. So I do save time because I don't have to commute to my basement office where I work, which is kind of nice. But it's you got to be in it 100%. Like I basically gave up my marathon video game sessions, which I always loved, but I knew it was a necessary sacrifice to be able to do something like this because it was just too much of a time suck. So you kind of drop 1 or 2 things that are your biggest time sucks. Make the time for it, and don't quit your day job right away. By all means. And I don't live in a mansion or anything, and it's I'm not particularly well off with this, but it's enough that I don't need to work a 9-to-5, which is nice.
Nice. So We actually are friends with and actually work within our network with a guy named Dan Lanzer who he's working on a game called Henchman, and one of his questions for you was, what was your biggest fear when you first got started?
Well, to be honest, I didn't really have a lot of. I don't know. I knew it would have some degree of success, no matter what happened, and that was always comforting enough that I didn't really think about that. Because I'm like, okay, half the people like it and half the people hate it. I'm happy that half the people like it. And it turned out it was reviewed well, and people do tend to like it, which is nice. But it was more, it's not a matter of how successful, but it's a matter of there will be some measure of success. It won't get zero reaction from the world, sort of thing. So that was always a really comforting thought for me. So if you have those fears, think of like some kind of justification like that, and then just push it out and never think of it again, because it's something that doesn't do you any good. It's not productive for you. So yeah, the best thing you can do is just design a good game, and then that'll make it a lot easier down the line. And then what is not, that's the tricky question. So it's you really have to be a bit of a tastemaker to kind of figure that out and judge for yourself. So some friendly advice for first-time gamers: don't try and come out with the biggest, most complex, most expensive game with 1,000 miniatures and 100 moving pieces. Probably put together something smaller and maybe work your way up from there. And that'll just make your life easier. I came out, like, Drinking Quest is a card-based game. It also has dice and character sheets and instructions, and it's you open it up and people are always surprised those other components are in there. So it's kind of a bit more than a card game, but it definitely wasn't like a big board game with a lot of different complex pieces and things like that. So those are games I like, but it's I'm not there yet. So I've got a few things in the works that'll start getting my games will start getting more vertical. But for a first-time game, a card game is usually a pretty safe bet to go. And then from there, if you have an extra gimmick or two on top of just the cards, then that also helps it.
So I want to point out what you all just heard is that Jason is going to take on Settlers of Catan. That's what he just said. That's what's happening.
Watch out, Mayfair.
He has his eyes set on him, like he's coming for you.
Actually, yeah, funny story with Mayfair Games. It was last Gen Con. And I was hanging out with one of the guys from my distribution company, and he's like, "Oh, hey, come to this hotel tonight. We're doing this thing or whatever." And then one thing leads to another. We're in the executive suite at this one hotel, and it's all the Mayfair Games people, and they're all super great people. And we just had this really fun time hanging out. And I told them about Drinking Quest, and I gave them some copies, and not with the hopes of getting signed or anything. That wouldn't really be an appropriate company to take it. And kind of getting signed was never the goal. It's always DIY and just kind of do what you want from there. But it was just a really fun experience, and they're really cool dudes, and they're talking about the Cones of Dunshire that I think that's what it's called. Yeah,
yes, and Parks and Recs.
Yeah.
I will be the Maverick.
Yeah. I didn't know anything about it. They were just telling me all about it, and they had this like mock-up at Gen Con last year, like for charity kind of thing. And it was just it was a really fun night, and they were cool people. And I got a copy of the Settlers of Catan novel, which is actually pretty decent. I was like not expecting this to be very good, and I read it. I'm like, oh, this is really good. I like it a lot. It's basically a book about Vikings.
Nice.
Are you going to Gen? Oh, sorry, I'm jumping in. I'm excited with a question. Are you going to Gen Con this year?
Yes, yeah.
There's a big group of us going.
Yeah. So it's like
hunt you down.
I'm doing Ottawa Comic Con next month. I'm doing Anime North. I'm running an all-night Dungeons and Dragons game in Anime North this year. I'm doing Niagara Comic Con in June. I'm not confirmed.
Niagara Comic Con.
Sure. Yeah. So it's a good mix of Canadians and U.S. About half and half for that one.
That's like over near. That's like 2 hours away.
Okay, there you go. That's road trip worthy.
There you go.
Only if it's on the American side, though. Wait, no, I can go to the Canadian side. Never mind.
Yeah, I think it is on the Canadian side, but it's like a minute from the border. Like, it's really close. And then I'm doing Montreal. It's not confirmed, but it's 90% sure. So that's my first Quebec, my first French con in July, and then Gen Con, and then Fan Expo And then PAX Prime isn't confirmed, but that's another 90%. And then Edmonton Comic Con, so that's close to Calgary. And then again, not signed, but 90% sure, PAX Australia in November, which will be the farthest I've ever flown for a con. So that'll be a lot of fun. I'm really pumped for that.
Nice.
No Dragon Con?
Dragon Con, I think, is the same weekend as Fan Expo, which is an hour drive for me, and it's really easy to do, and I can go home and sleep in my own bed at night.
Gotcha.
So I would love to do Dragon Con, but it's just I can't avoid Fan Expo. It's just I think it's like the third or fourth biggest con there is. So it's definitely one I have to do. I would like to do Dragon Con. That's in Atlanta, right?
Yep, that's in my neck of the woods. So
yeah, I would love to go there, but it's just I'm pretty sure it conflicts with Fan Expo. Because every year I look it up and I'm like, I can't do this. So.
I hope you're not creeped
but
out.
if it's ever, 2 weeks in a row, I can do both. I would love to do that.
I'm like, I'm gonna come meet you at Gen Con. Like, Creeper. Sorry, I probably sounded really bad, but I really, really want to say hi because there's gonna be a great big bunch of us. And
yeah. Well, we'll go for beers after.
Yes, that would be awesome. That'd be so cool.
And then Gen Con last year, the artist that did my Haiku Warrior cover, Claudio, who again has done all this cool Dungeons and Dragons work and everything. The way I met him was just a friend of a friend. I'm like, I'm looking for a hotel. He's like, okay, you can crash on the floor of my two friends in this hotel. And he was one of the guys in that hotel. And I was like, oh, hey, nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. And he's from Brazil and I'm from Canada. So we chatted about that. And then, we just had a quick conversation and kind of went and did our own things for the day. And then I went out drinking with the other guy in the hotel room. And I ended up coming back on my own later on because it was just too crazy. Tabletop RPG people party like fucking crazy. And I remember coming back. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to bed nice and early. I'm pretty drunk. I'm not too bad. I'm gonna get up and work the booth tomorrow. And I don't know what it was that day. I didn't eat a lot or something, or it was like gin and tonic I don't normally drink or something. But people say worst hangover ever, but this was absolutely definitively, without a doubt, the worst reaction I've ever had from drinking. So what happened was I woke up around 3 or 4 and I threw up. And I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. Okay, I drank and I threw up. Okay, it's not the end of the world. And then half an hour later, I woke up again. I threw up violently again. And blowing chunks is a real thing. It's a totally different style. It comes from reality. So it's projectile vomit. It comes out at full force. It flies out. It's not just simply throwing up. It just I've never experienced this before. It was nuts. And then I go back to bed and I'm like, oh man, well, there's obviously nothing left in my system. I think I had potato skins for dinner, and then it was scotch and then gin and tonics is what it was that night. Anyway, and potato skins. So I'm like, okay, well, there's nothing left in my system. So then basically every half an hour on the clock until about 10 in the morning, I was just throwing up violently. And it must have been loud. And it's just, Claudio in the hotel room must have been like, oh, this is the Drinking Quest guy? What a fucking lightweight. He's been throwing up all night. This is horrible. And I remember being like, I'm so embarrassed. Oh, my street cred is suffering. And it was just... So that was the worst. That was last year at Gen Con. And then months later, I contacted Claudio again and was like, "Hey, Drinking Quest guy, remember all my throwing up? Can I hire you to do this cover for a game?" And so yeah, that was kind of how it happened from there.
Well, you must have made a good first impression, so that way or at least it was a funny enough story. He was like, "I want to work with this guy."
yeah, that's. I'm glad he did it too. Yeah, I'm happy with that cover, and at the very least, it's a good story to tell. So. But yeah, I didn't think I'd have my worst drinking experience ever at the age of 32. I think I was at the time, so it was a little past my drinking prime. But yeah, it's you keep learning new things the older you get, I guess.
Very cool. So, what has been the most exciting thing to come out of you actually making a game?
Other than throwing up.
Yeah, other than throwing up. I mean, it's kind of led through that, but...
I'm just going to say just working with a lot of people that I really kind of respect, professionally kind of thing. I don't know, I like to consider myself an outgoing introvert kind of thing, so... when I get started talking about something that I'm comfortable with, I can, I'm very social and I can talk at great length. But I think, day to day, it's, and maybe this is a general, geek problem kind of thing. But, I've got a bit of trouble relating to people. I worked in an office for a while and everyone would always be talking about sports and stuff like that. And I am just straight up just not a sports guy. I just don't follow it, and it's stuff like that. So it's people that writers and people that write comics and like web comics and comic books and music and stuff like that. I've always felt I always related to that. I always related to the art, and then therefore the person who made the art. And so I always kind of felt the connection there. And then now it's really cool to be working with these people. At least on limited levels, like with my Haiku Warrior Kickstarter, I've got all these just people that the criteria I used to pick the people were just people that are awesome that I like a lot. So there's a real mix of different kind of people that write for different mediums. And so like I've got MC Lars. I've done a song with him, and he's great. And actually, doing a song with MC Lars might be one of my favorite things too. And I've got another one coming this year too, so look out for that. I'm gonna release a 7-inch record. But I think with the Haiku Warrior Kickstarter, just having all these people just agreeing to write haikus for it, like I'll do whatever it takes to hit that goal in the next 10 days. Like it's gonna be crazy. I want to have all those people in the game. And then like I'm a big fan of punk rock, so like the band Masked Intruder is on there, and they're like this pop punk band. They sing like corny love songs, but their gimmick is that they're also career criminals. So when they play on stage, they have all these different colored stick-up masks. So there's like blue intruder and green intruder, and nobody knows who they are. And
like the Ninja Turtles.
Like kind of like Ninja Turtles. There you go. Yeah, it's so they sing all these happy love songs, but once in a while they'll drop a reference to some kind of crimes they're committing or something like that casually. It's really funny stuff. And then they'll just have a straight up crime song about holding someone up at knife point or something like that. And so I'm a huge fan of those guys, and they responded to my my offer to write for the game to just do a haiku for a card. And,
that's awesome.
And then there's legitimate like game design talent in there, like Robin Laws is one of the biggest names in RPG design. He's written for Dungeons and Dragons, and he had the hugely successful Hill Folk recently. And Francois Valentine, who's designed a Ticket to Ride board, and Give It to the King, and just a lot of really great games that I like. And Andrew from Fate of the Norns is like a Viking RPG series. And then from there, I've got some web design people, or some web comic people. Chris Crady from Lunar Baboon, and Peter from Rock Paper Cynic, a couple of my favorites. Peter I kind of became friends with through the comic circuit, so that was kind of an easy yes. But he still does great work, and I'm happy to have him on there. So, and then anybody I'm forgetting, I apologize. Hopefully I can bring it up later.
No one listens to the show anyway, so I think you're going to be okay. You're going to be fine.
Ryan North is huge. I love Ryan North. I'm really happy to have him on there. And his Dinosaur Comics, he's got a ton of great projects I'd like to name drop, but Dinosaur Comics was a huge influence on my writing style in terms of comedy, so I have to drop that.
Yeah, because you're really goofy.
Thank you, yes.
Like, it's goofy. That's why I like Drinking Quest, because it's just silly, which is awesome.
All right. Yeah, I like to kind of I like to not take it too seriously, and kind of I always want to be funny for different reasons. So I want to surprise people and kind of use different techniques and stuff like that. So one card might be funny because of structure. One card might be funny because of how unstructured it is. One card might be funny because I'm venting about some ex-girlfriend or something, and it's got a real kind of voice of the author that I think a lot of tabletop games don't have. So I think that's kind of one of the hidden features of why people like it. So the whole game, it's like the dungeon master is the cards, but I wrote the cards, so I'm technically the voice of the game a little bit. So there's a really part of the benefits of not running it in real time is you can make sure you're funny on every card first because you have the time to put into it. So
well, and they're relatable too. I mean, I know in Drinking Quest I think it's a Yeti drinking in the shower. And it's like shower beer, and it's like this refreshing beer. And I never had done that until I was, over the age of 21, of course. But no, I'd never done it. I'd never had experienced that until I got married, and my husband was like, "You've never drank in the shower? Like, what are you thinking?"
It's a glorious experience.
Oh my! That card made me laugh so hard because I was like, "God, this is so true!" Like.
Wow! So, all right, I'm glad I could inspire you to drink a shower beer.
Yeah, it's a little shower beer. So,
All right, so Jason, we got some quick fire questions. So it's just meant for us to ask real quick. You answer quick, and we move on.
Stop ranting. Gotcha.
All right, so here we go. If you had a racehorse, what would you name it?
If I had a what?
A racehorse. What would you name it?
A race wars?
Yes.
Like an eraser? Like a race wars?
No, giddy up. Horse.
Horse.
Like the derby.
Am I that drunk that I'm slurring horse and where it sounds like whores?
You just
sound like
combined a word a little bit there. That's all.
Sounds like whores. Race horse. Not
race horse. Oh, so if I was going to name a game about a racehorse?
No, if you just had one, what would you name it?
Oh, if I had a racehorse. Oh, okay. I would name it. Okay, well, the first thing that popped in my mind was Shadowfax, which is Gandalf's horse, the Lord of all horses. But my wife actually had a baby a week ago.
Congratulations!
And thank you. Yeah, it's a boy. And the joke that we kept throwing around was we were going to make its middle name Shadowfax, after Gandalf's horse. And I don't know why it was funny, but it just was. And I made the announcement on Facebook. I'm like, hey, welcome little Benjamin Shadowfax, and just as a joke. And I had all these relatives that were trying to be nice about it. That were like, oh, that's an interesting name. Where does that come from? And then halfway through the comments, I had a little disclaimer. I'm like, middle name, not actually Shadowfax. And nobody picked up on that. It was great. Sorry, there's a long answer to your short question.
That's fine. Favorite pizza topping?
Bacon.
Yes. Wait, hold on. So I gotta jump down to this other one. Is Canadian bacon really ham?
No, it's more like female bacon, which is, I don't know, it's more ham-like than regular bacon. But American bacon is, I think there's really three kinds of bacon. We have like regular bacon, and then we have female bacon, which is what we would consider Canadian bacon. But then I go to the States for conventions, and I eat your bacon. It's totally different bacon than either of those two things. So I think like bacon is maybe like a subjective term. And maybe like Atlanta bacon is different than Boston bacon. I don't know. It's I'm gonna try and eat bacon, and every time I do a convention.
All right. Well, I'll give you that one. All right. One superpower you are afraid your baby will have and will start using before they reach 18 months of age.
Oh wow. I guess magnetism would be bad. I wouldn't want them to delete everything on my computer and my video games and all of my CDs. I still listen to CDs, and yeah, that would be bad.
Yeah, I can see that being bad.
And inconvenient. There'd be paper clips everywhere all the time, and yeah. That was the first thing I thought of. That's the point of these fast questions.
Yeah, it really is.
Good stuff. When I have more time, I get better answers.
See if you want to take the last couple here, because I don't want to rant or anything here.
No, it's okay. Best... No, you just asked that one, didn't you?
No. You're on that one.
Oh, okay. I misheard. Best 8-bit video game series.
Ooh, video game series. I want to say Legend of Zelda, but I'm going to give a weird answer. I'm going to say Star Tropics. Do you remember Star Tropics? There was a 1 and a 2.
I've seen remember. I've never played it, but I've seen Let's Plays of it.
Yeah, there's like this kid with a yo-yo, and it's just this really kind of... It's a great story. The music's awesome. It's a cool setting. And I've been nostalgizing hard about Star Tropics lately, so I'm going to throw that one out there.
All right.
I watched the Game Grumps, and they were playing Star Tropics, and that's how I figured out what it was.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, those guys are great.
I would love to meet them. Oh my god. Sorry, derailing.
Maybe a Gen
Alright, sorry. Last one. Name the worst job in the world.
Regional collections manager. Not based on a real life job that I've had.
That sounds boring.
That sounds tough.
I mean, I usually go for jizz mopper, but I mean,
no,
that sounds bad too.
He's trying to keep it classy, sir.
Yeah, that's fine.
Jason Anarchy is a good person. He's clean.
And then I was a regional sales collections manager for a while, and I was watching Lost, and part of John Locke's backstory about how much of a loser he was that he was a regional collections manager or something like that.
Yes.
And you're like,
oh no, that's oh, I feel sad about that.
And Drinking Quest was born.
There you go.
All right, so those are all our questions. Let's talk about some. Let's get into some news here.
And now here's some bullshit that happened somewhere.
All right. Well, so first up, real quick, Sundering photo contest. This Thursday, it ends. So for the month of April, so better get your April submissions in there, because like you win an Amazon gift card. So get your photos in. That's a little heads up there. And of course, now that we just did the bumper, now we're going to do another bumper for Bacon News, which is always weird, and Ray hates it, but we're going to do it.
Bacon, 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 bacon.
All right, because people would be pissed if we didn't do Bacon News, I found this. So there is some incredible ballpark foods, and a lot of them include bacon. Like, it's just absolutely, like, the Texas League Squealer just looks amazing. It's a burger. It's a half-pound burger that is equal parts beef and bacon, topped with cheese, and more bacon. It's amazing. And you go scroll through this link, and you'll find tons of bacon-fueled goodness throughout our ballparks. So if you don't like baseball, that's fine. Go get like the $5 seats, and go get yourself some bacon delicacies at these ballparks, because that's the real show here, people. That's the real deal. And Zia's looking like, oh man, I'm hungry now. Yeah. I want some. God damn it, I'm hungry. Give me Mark bacon cheeseburger right now.
Give me a sandwich.
God damn. All right, so on to some of the real geek news. This one just like hit home because I really love this movie. But Galaxy Quest is coming as a TV show.
What?
Yeah, so it's reported that they're working on a Galaxy Quest TV series. Like, Paramount is working on this. And it's based on the 1999 movie.
It's funny that they're doing that and not actually making a new Star Trek show.
Or making a new Firefly. But we're getting Galaxy Quest, the TV series.
Yeah. Was it even a good movie?
I felt it was a good movie. I thought it was a pretty good parody, and it was funny, and but yeah, now it's going to be coming to TV.
Yeah, I think it was like in '99 it was released, but yeah, I watched it pretty recently, and it stands up to the test of time pretty well.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm not sure how it's going to work as a TV series, though.
Yeah, the movie was pretty self-contained.
Yeah, I'm just not sure how this is going to work out for them. But more power to them. Let's bring more shows that aren't Firefly back to TV here. That's great.
It'll happen till the cows come home, as I like to say.
Damn it. Yeah, Alan Rickman was awesome in that movie, as the chat room is like flipping out over.
Yeah, they're going nuts.
All right, and we would be remiss if we didn't talk about Jared Leto as the Joker.
Ah, yes.
Right.
A bigger piece of news than. So what did everyone think?
Yeah, I thought it didn't look good, but I was like, well, in the actual movie and context, I'm sure it'll be good. Like, it's one of those things where the picture probably didn't do it justice. But I found this one picture. I think it was Reddit. I think it was Reddit, and it was this picture of Ben Affleck, and it was like a parody of the Joker image, and he had all the tattoos all over him. Mm-hmm. And it was like, justice, and, my parents are dead, and stuff like that. And so I posted that to Twitter, like, hey, here's an amazing picture, it's funny. And I think that ended up turning into my biggest tweet ever randomly. And it was like, oh, really? It's just some post from the internet that was like, it's not even original content? Yeah, it was like, just retweeted thousands of times. It was insane. It was mentioned on IO9 and CNN, and, like, it's ridiculous. So it's so if you go to the Drinking Quest Twitter or the original guy who did the picture, I don't know his name, but it wasn't credited on the picture. But yeah, it's really funny stuff.
So I'm not sure what I need to think about this, because I thought Jack Nicholson did a good job back in the day, and then Heath Ledger came along, and I'm like, he knocked Joker out of the park, and now we get this, and I'm not without context. Like, I don't know what to think about this.
Yeah, it's tough, and really, man, to follow after Heath Ledger's Joker, it's like, oh.
Like, they almost have to take him in a different direction.
And I'm wondering if that's what they're going to do. Is he's
That's
going to
what
be
they
his
did.
own, just like Jack Nicholson was his own Joker.
Yeah, and
He's
people
gonna
just I think they overreacted. I think some people were just downright mean about it. Like, it's just, I don't know. I really hated the internet for the first couple days of that, just because people were just so adamant about, I don't like you, I'm not going to go see this movie, it's ruined. It's like, it's one picture. He's a good actor. Give him a chance.
I think I could forgive everything in the picture, but just having the word "damaged" on his forehead.
Oh yeah,
that was a little much. That one word. I'm like, every other tattoo is probably fine, but damage just makes me think of some kid, with baggy pants listening to Limp Bizkit or something.
That was him.
Yeah.
But like on his arm where he has ha ha ha, like that almost reminds me of Victor Zaz with his like every time he like kills someone he like puts like a mark on himself. That's what that reminded me of, and I'm like, so that's what I thought it was at first when I saw it, and then I had to turn my head, and I'm like turning my head now on screen for those of you who, and I'm like, oh, it's just a continuation of the haha tattoo that's on his chest, but yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, I thought it was kind of cool, but I mean, people overwhelmingly did not like it.
The damage thing, yeah, I would agree. I was looking at that, I'm like, what is that? I don't know if I'm not sure if I'm digging that. And you're right, it does have this, like, I don't know, I'm damaged goods.
I mean,
like,
they're going into it in a losing battle because of the past. Like,
exactly.
But the smartest thing they can do is try and differentiate and just make something that's really not Heath Ledger's Joker.
Yeah.
And at least on that level, they're succeeding so far, just based on a picture. So
I just hope it doesn't
perfection. That's probably the smartest thing.
I just hope it doesn't ruin it. There's so much hate. Like, they do something different, or just write him out of the movie or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, Heath Ledger took Joker to a really dark, sociopathic level, and I wonder if they're
how many people bitched about him doing it at first. They're like, oh, he's gonna be a pretty Joker.
Well, I know, but I wonder if they're going to take Leto's Joker to a more comical state, kind of. I'm not necessarily saying like Jack Nicholson, but I'd say probably to like somewhere like along those lines, maybe in between the two, where they're going to try to make him a little more jokey.
That'd be sweet. Jokey.
I don't know a good term. Whatever.
Well, no, I was thinking of the Loot Crate shirt.
Oh yeah, Loki and Jokey. Yeah, okay, I got you. Yeah, so yeah, I don't really know what they're gonna do, but I really don't know what to think, because DC kind of like they kind of disappoint me with the ending of Man of Steel, and now we got Batman versus Superman, and I'm like kind of like about the whole thing, and then
yeah, Batman versus Superman. It's just the timing is just off. It's like you're going to introduce Batman or this version of Batman in the movie, and have him be equal to Superman, who had an entire movie to build him up already. Like, people know who Batman is, but there's just been no setup for this conflict and no opportunity for anyone to care. And then they're also making it like seeding a trilogy or the Justice League movies kind of movie. So it's like it's going to have some Terminator Salvation-ness to it, where it's just all set up and no delivery, I feel.
Yeah, I'm.
But I did like the trailer.
I'm a little. The whole like, do you bleed? You will. Like, I'm like, God damn it! Really? Who wrote that? Really? Stop. God, like,
I automatically go into DC movies thinking that it's not going to be good, just based on past performance.
Ugh. I'm just.
It sucks because I love DC.
It won't be because of Ben Affleck. I think he's going to do a pretty decent job.
I don't disagree with that. Like, Ben Affleck has been pretty decent in a lot of movies recently. Like, my wife dragged me to go see the movie Gone Girl, and he was phenomenal.
Yes, that movie was awesome. I loved it.
And I will never look at my wife the same way ever again after watching that movie. And I told her that, like, I will always be watching over my shoulder for the rest of my life. And but Ben Affleck did a really good job. I know everyone like hates him and everything, but I mean, he did a really good job, and I think he'll do a good job. But let's be honest, it's not necessarily like he's a good actor. It's the question of, is the writing going to be good and the material going to be good for him to deliver? Because if the writing is shit and the story is a piece of trash, yes, Ben Affleck's going to look like an idiot.
Yeah, I think he's got the look. I think he can emote properly for it. But yeah, if the writing sucks, that's hard to save because that's why Daredevil was bad and the editing was terrible. It wasn't really Affleck's fault that Daredevil was bad. The extended edition's better, the director's cut, because it makes sense a little bit. The problem with the original Daredevil movie is that, again, I'm going to rip on new metal. Sorry, it was just in that period of everything was new metal, so it had this bizarre soundtrack. That was right after Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, so everyone was flying around on strings the whole movie, and it was just, it hasn't aged well at all.
But the new Daredevil show, very good. I suggest everyone go check that out.
Maybe they should stop making movies, just do TV shows with these superhero things.
All right.
Seems like all superhero shows are great.
Yeah. Actually, you're right. A lot of superhero... Like, I haven't watched any of the CW show. So, I saw this really funny, thing. Like, the way the CW went around Arrow. It says, hey, CW goes to DC. Hey, we want to do a Batman TV series. DC, no, we want to put him in movies. All right, well, then give us Arrow. All right, done. Ha! We're doing Arrow with Batman storylines. I've never seen Arrow, but that's what I saw, and I thought it was kind of funny. Ray's like, I'm not amused. Bullshit.
Whatever. I enjoy the show. People bashing it.
All right. Well, one final piece of news. So, look, Warcraft, there's a whole lot of patch news. Look, we are not the ones who are going to dissect your patch notes. So, guys, go listen to, The Edge. Go listen to another show that is going to really dissect the patch notes. But there's one piece of patch note news that you need to know, and that is Left Shark is now in the game. He is coming. Left Shark is going to become a pet, and if he doesn't dance, so God help me, if he doesn't dance, I am going to be pissed off. The other little bit is that apparently, and this is for you, Ray, is that apparently Pepe is getting dress up. So for those who don't know, Pepe is a stupid bird that can hang around on your shoulder while you're raiding. Yeah. And now he could be a pirate, ninja, knight, or a Viking.
I mean, I'm sure if they spent more than an hour on this project, then yeah, it wasn't worth it.
It's just fucking ridiculous. Fucking clown shoes. All right, we got some Foffs and Profs to roll through here.
Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! You're cool. Fuck you! Fuck you!
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. Fuck you, Saddam Hussein of Iraq.
Alright, so Jason, you usually let the guests go first, but we're going to let you see how we kind of roll with it before you make your decision whether you want to tell someone to fuck off or give them props. So,
sure.
So, Zia, we're going to start with you, ladies first.
Oh, okay. I am just full of love today. I want to say props to Velvet Dove. She was so kind, and she sent me some mail last week, and I know I called it into the show, but I wanted to show it off. She gave me some VD. She gave me syphilis and herpes. So, thank you.
And she's showing off little stuffed animals for those of you who are listening to just the audio portion.
They're stuffed animals.
They are stuffed animals, but they look like the viruses.
No, it was a very unexpected gift. It was really, really cool of you. Thank you. It really made me laugh and happy. It was really kind.
All right, and Ray?
Let's see. I'm going to Foff... oh my god, forgot what I was going to do, too. I had it all set up.
God damn it, Ray.
I know. I'm fucking terrible.
God damn your illiteracy.
It's not illiteracy. I didn't write it down. I just forgot what I was going to say.
But you do have illiteracy.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to Foff college kids. There's this guy that orders pizza all the time, and there's an address that they have to use if they order online to get to the college. It's the same address for everybody because there's no streets over there. It's basically just dorms and shit and townhouses. So he just puts the address in, his name, and then just puts it through. So it's it's going to the college. It doesn't tell us where. He doesn't fucking answer his phone when I call him.
Oh no!
So I'm sitting there. I'm losing money because I missed out on a delivery because of it, and I God damn it! This is gonna piss me off,
motherfucker.
So I finally get a hold of him, and I was just like, hey, can you put where it's actually going to, if it's going to a townhouse, and he just hangs up on me. Because and then he doesn't tip me when I deliver it.
Aww.
Yeah, I know. It's wonderful. So
Why is there bacon?
I hope he
Why
he
is there
flunks
not
out of
bacon?
I hope he flunks out of college. That's how I feel. I'm going harsh today. Fuck him.
Yeah, that's pretty nasty of you. You're usually very
No, I'm not. I hate the college kids in our town.
All right. You got anything else, Ray?
No, that's it.
All right. So first of all, I want to say props to DTD over at Sheep Moon. Sheep Moon, for those of you who don't know, is at an end. It's over. DTD.
Really?
Yep. He did his last show, and he had a phenomenal run. I think it was 125 episodes. So congrats, DTD, and good luck to future endeavors as well.
Yeah, we like you.
Yep. He gave us this.
Fancy as fuck.
He did.
He gave us that. I'm sorry, a little. And I just want to say, fuck off the weather forecaster. Seriously, this is the third time in as many weeks where you tell us that there's going to be rain all fucking weekend, and then it goes for maybe 1 hour in the wee hours of the morning. Then it's bright and sunny the rest of the goddamn day, and I could have done a better job. You have degrees studying science. Please, you're no better than a carnival sideshow psychic at this point. I'm so fucking fed up.
So why do you listen to him?
Because, I'm trying to plan out, shit. When you have kids, Ray, you'll learn. Like, you want to take them to the park, you want to do shit.
I'm not going to learn. I'll never learn that.
You're going to learn. So.
No, I'm not.
He's going to learn you.
So anyway, so that's how we do it. So Jason, you're up.
All right, so props and a fuck off. All right. Okay, so the props is kind of long. I'm going to say props to Jim Zub, Ali Spagnola, Ryan North, Fearless Fred, Mast Intruder, Chris Grady, Francois Valentine, Peter Schakowsky, Andrew Velkauskas, Perry Grip of Nerf Herder, MC Lars, Robin Laws, James J. Stevenson, and Becky Clunan for being a part of my Haiku Warrior Kickstarter and writing haikus for me. Thank you. And the fuck off to the guy at Sony and Microsoft who is responsible for the online connectivity. When you choose the option to not connect to your internet, there should be no fucking reason why it should bother you to connect to the internet. For 5 seconds every time you boot up the system. Fuck you, motherfucker. I'm holding up both my middle fingers to the screen right now. Fuck you. Get fired.
I'm gonna ad lib for Jason on video since it's a static picture, but I'm holding
Thank
it.
you. Yes.
There you go. That's to Sony and Microsoft.
Open a show with that one.
Let's see. Here. This is from Microsoft and Sony.
What the fuck are you doing?
There we go. All right, so we have Rick and Morty called in.
Did you edit his, or did you just let it go? He said he spaced out really bad.
Yeah, I edited it. I got rid of the space. I got rid of the space out moments. Here we go.
Yeah.
Breakfast, and Zia. It's Rick and Morty here for my fuck off to work being busy as hell. I'm having fuck off to the stupid neighbors I've got at the moment. They've been living there for years, but there's this real scuff for a lot of families that are on the dole, aka the welfare type council housing people. The council obviously giving them a house or something, but they just shout and swear. These little kids are like fuck off and do one, and some are even saying calling their mothers a cunt and all sorts of. It's really just fine, I guess. It's not meant to be the nice. It is a little bit of a rough area where I live, but it's not. That just means it's not posh. It's people aren't as best well off, but props to Mistress. I had a session last Thursday, a couple of days ago, and I'm a little bit fuzzy still, a little bit recovering from that with the bruised ass. Why does that cunt now decide to pull off in front of me? So he pulled behind me, I pulled forward, and this fucking twat's pulled beyond me now, just because I'm sat here and I'm not going anywhere. What a dork. Oh, props to being back. I've been playing a while for a bit. I've been working on my I have this funny little pink-haired gnome female demonology lock that I play on my alliance side called Fizzlewind, who I like to kind of go up and just think, oh, look, all sweet and innocent, and then all of a sudden she's got purple horns, and then bam, she's she changes into the demon, run around, and you're gonna blast your ass out into outer space. So props to that shit. This is getting far too long. That's what she said, and Ray will be getting pissed off at me now. You guys are awesome. I'll catch you later. Cheers.
Yeah, so his original call went on a lot longer. There was actually a solid 40 seconds in there where it was just him mumbling inaudibly. I think at a driver. So I was just all right. That happened. But yeah, so thank you, Rigor Morty, for calling in. All right, this next call. I want to preface this that there is a heavy dose of sarcasm in this FOF, and it is to be taken as a joke for a play. So go into it thinking like that. I was originally going to edit this, but I talked to this person who's Velvet Dove, and she's like, "Oh no! This was sarcastic and meant to be a joke." So let me play it now.
Hey guys, this is Dove. I just wanted to call in with a quick little FOF. F off to Ro. You heard me right. I said Ro. Sitting there getting everybody all weepy-eyed and everything for Sheep Moon's last hurrah. Who do you think you are? And then going and turning around and calling people out, calling me out that I have to call in and all I do is make a big dumbass of myself? Thanks a lot. Okay, I'm just kidding. Thank you so much, Ro, for everything you do. You're totally freaking awesome. Thank you, guys. Love y'all. Talk to you later. Bye.
Yeah, so when I first saw that, I was like, oh, shit.
That scared me. I thought I was in trouble.
Yeah. So
I was like, oh!
Also, Velvet Dove also wrote in a FOF, another one, a more serious one, and it was long. So I'm going to paraphrase it here. And she basically says, fuck off to self-righteous people. You did not have to do anything. You did it all on your own accord, and I'm not sure how much work, in air quotes, you actually did, considering I never heard about your coming back from retirement unless you were willing to do it yourself. So shut the fuck up. So, yeah, her FOF is to self-righteous people.
Oh shit.
We have a few from the chat room, it looks like.
Ray, you should read one.
You should, Ray. Do some fucking work on the show.
Fuck off. Fine.
Wait. Was that another FOF from you to me?
No,
or?
Well, yeah, I'm stopping work to do other work. That's fine. Right. I don't know where we're at, though.
God damn it. I'll read it. So Adams in the chat room says, props to our Ray team for clearing 8 out of 10 in one fucking night with 2 heals, and he says your heart's Grizz. So yes, that is Phalanx of Nod. Adams and Grizz are 2 healers, and they are pretty fucking badass. I will say that. Is Ray caught up to where we are now, or no?
Oh, I no. I'm not. Sorry.
Goddamn illiteracy. Oh, Boxman in the chat room says props to Jurassic Park 3, Rich.
Jurassic Park 3?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Can I go on a couple minute rant about that?
Sure.
All right. I'm doing a new webcomic. It's called Anarchy Plants. It's about house plants.
I've seen some of your comics, by the way.
Yeah, it launched a week ago. Actually, the same day that my son was born, I was at the hospital. I'm like, okay, the only thing I'm going to do from my phone is just launch the first comic. Anyway, so it's the way I met the artist for Anarchy Plants. I write it, and someone else does the art. Is that we were at a convention and we were arguing. He said he liked Jurassic Park 3. It was his favorite Jurassic Park movie. And nobody likes Jurassic Park 3 as their favorite Jurassic Park movie. It's the most average movie that's ever been made. There is no better example of a 5 out of 10 movie than Jurassic Park 3. And that basically, our friendship was born out of my hate and his love for Jurassic Park 3.
Wait,
so I'm just going to throw in an extra fuck you for Jurassic Park 3.
So wait, I'm confused now. Do you know Boxman? Or do you, and he's just messing with you? Or do you...
I suspect he's in on the joke, whoever it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess.
Oh, okay, good. Because I was like,
it says it's me. He says it's me, Jason. So I mean,
Oh, that Boxman. Oh. Uh-oh. No, I don't know Boxman. Should I?
I was like...
I assume I assume it's Aaron from Anarchy Plants.
It might be. I mean, he says it's me, Jason. So I mean, you clearly know who he is.
Yeah, I convinced this guy because my professional name was already Jason Anarchy, and the comic was going to be called Anarchy Plants. I convinced him to change his professional name to Aaron Plants. So that is my greatest achievement with this comic so far. So if that is you, Aaron Plants, then just believe me when I say fuck you, Jurassic Park 3, and your averageness, your fucking 5 out of 10 averageness. And if it's not Aaron Plants, then thanks for being in on the joke.
Man, what do you think about Jurassic Park 2?
Oh, that's just straight up bad.
Okay. Because I will agree, Jurassic Park 3 is average, but it is still better than Jurassic Park 2.
Oh, it sure is, yeah.
All
and
right.
it's just it's so not remarkable. And we even threw around the idea of just having a podcast where every week we do nothing but talk about Jurassic Park 3. And like we'll get guests on and stuff like that, and it's just so mundane and nobody gives a shit about it. But it's like, you get up there with 300-400 episodes and people start to care. So it may still happen.
Boxman also says Prometheus sucks.
Oh yeah, that's Aaron Plants.
All right.
But if anyone's listening, anarchyplants.com. It's a new webcomic we started. We have a comic that makes fun of the new Joker design that we posted just today. That was our first reactionary comic, something topical. So.
And he's going on a rant. He also says, fuck your dinosaur.
Oh my god. Making me tell all these stories, Aaron Plants. All right, I'll tell this as quickly as possible. There's a subreddit called Dinosaur Drawings. And it's just a subreddit of people drawing shitty dinosaurs.
That sounds amazing. I need to go see this.
I was like, I love this idea. This is great stuff. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to draw a shitty dinosaur in MS Paint. So I did that, and I posted it. And at the same time, I also posted one of our Anarchy Plants comics in our comics. And our Anarchy Plants comic did well enough. But then the shitty picture of the dinosaur I drew did way better than our comic that we had like an actual artist draw, and was funny and had work went into it. So
Reddit.
Just wrong, Aaron Plants, both about Jurassic Park 3 and my dinosaur drawing. So this is the kind of professional relationship we have, because there's a great back and forth and we're always arguing, and that means that you're making something good.
I never really thought of it that way.
I'm not sarcastic about that. It's legitimately a great way to go. You should feel free to say any horrible thing that crosses your mind at any time, because then it's going through the proper filters before it's released to the masses.
Well, this is also why we have the Foffs and Prof segment, is so people can just release their rage before they unload, because we like to tell people that we provide a service, because you can rant and rave on our show instead of like saying going to the office and bitching out your boss and then getting shit canned.
Yeah, like I'm not going to go to the director's house of Jurassic Park 3 and be like, fuck you, buddy, in your average movie, Actually, if I could rethink my original fuck you props thing, well, no, the internet thing with consoles is still there, but Jurassic Park 3 is probably my, I don't know why, I don't hate the movie, I hate the fact that somebody likes the movie as their Jurassic Park movie, is what it is. It opened up this whole other side of myself I never knew existed before this.
This dinosaur subreddit is amazing.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, isn't it great? Oh, so
God
good.
Damn it. And now the show's tangented.
Oh,
all right.
Okay.
All right.
Focus.
All right. Maslu in the chat room says, fuck off to working on Saturday mornings. I have to go to bed early and I feel like a damned golden girl.
I know. I hate working on Saturdays. I feel you, Left Head.
And Toasty Posty in the chat room says, fuck off to people raging about ESPN2 showing a video game tournament. If fucking poker can be on there, no issue, then video games can be there too.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So, I put somebody on blast that somebody I know was tweeting at. And they were like, oh, this is a disgrace. This is what's wrong with society. It's like, what?
You're what's wrong with society. And Loki says, props to Foffs. And I can't agree more. It's one of the highlights of my week to let the rage out. Alright, I feel that is it for our Foffs, which takes us to our email portion.
Where's your wife?
Don't have one.
How come?
It's a long story.
Do you have kids?
No, I don't.
How come?
It's an even longer story.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
What's your favorite scary movie?
Random questions, emails, phone calls, and stalkers.
Here's Johnny! What the fuck was that shit?
Alright, so before we get into this, Jason, you wanted to do a shot, and I'm like, I've been chugging this bourbon here. The bottle's empty. I poured the last of it.
Mine's been sitting here waiting.
I poured the last of it into my little Simpsons Duff shot glass. So are you ready to do this, sir?
I was born ready.
All right.
What? So I can't join you?
Wait, I thought. Well, Ray. Ray.
I'm doing a shot of Gatorade out of prescription bottle.
God damn it, Ray, and you're
vodka.
All right, I'm doing a shot of Bushmills whiskey out of a
Gatorade
glass by myself in my basement.
I am basement too. It's all right.
If it makes you feel, I am also alone in a basement with a plush bacon.
I'm alone.
It's okay. You can call it an office.
And I have plush herpes.
All right.
I have plush bacon.
Okay.
You have plush
Cheers.
herpes.
I'm holding
Cheers.
my
All right.
glass to the screen.
And 3, 2,
Cheers.
1.
Woo!
All right.
Oh, that was kind of nice, actually.
Tastes very medicine-y.
Jesus Christ, Ray. You got to get the medicine crumbs. The medicine crumbs.
That's how I do it.
All right.
I'm doing way better than I was at Gen Con last year already.
I drank. I think it was Jim Beam out of a flower vase. I literally took the flowers out and just emptied it and just drank it out of there. That's why I stopped drinking.
That's a good story to end on.
All right. So we have two emails that we got. One is from Haster, who just sent us a link to this site called StuffDutchPeopleLike.com, and apparently there's an article in here that apparently the Dutch people swear with diseases. What? So that's the thing. Like those, like, I fucking hope you get the bubonic plague, and apparently that's really bad. That's what they
like
do.
you stub your toe and you're like, measles.
Yeah, exactly. Apparently it's like they will curse just like us, but when they start like throwing out diseases, apparently that's when it's getting
real.
Yeah, that's when shit gets down.
Like, you might want to get down.
Yeah, so don't go to the Netherlands and start like throwing around diseases around, because people will be like thinking you're cursing at them.
Exactly. Apparently it's like they will curse just like us, but when they start like throwing out diseases, apparently
what the fuck is going on right now?
Yeah, that's when shit gets down.
What the fuck? Okay, who's playing the audio?
Start like around diseases.
Oh, I fucked up.
I was like, oh,
Jason has the audio going from Twitch running. All right. Oh, and then lastly, friend of the show and guy who I frequently talk about traffic here in the Atlanta area, Zelsi, is actually doing a fundraiser for St. Jude. So I put the link in the chat room. Ray will probably be putting that link in our show notes. So if you want to support him in raising money, last year he raised about $5,000 for St. Jude, and he's trying to raise some more, about $10,000 this year. So go check that out. Wow, we have gone for almost 2 hours, and we would be remiss if we didn't get into our haikus tonight, especially since Jason has the Haiku Warrior, which, by the way, I backed, and I'm very excited about getting my copy. I just want to throw that out there. So for those of you who haven't backed it yet, you should go back it, and that was so it can get up to ridiculous levels and get stretch goals. We need those stretch goals.
Yeah, if any listeners have any questions or anything, I'm on Twitter at Drinking Quest, or you can get a hold of me over Kickstarter through the Haiku Warrior campaign.
All right. Let's do haikus, because this is where Zia shines. Because haikus.
I know. I feel like pressure.
Big titties and ass. She wants to be inside you. Haikus from Zia.
Now, Jason, you can, of course, think up a haiku and share it with us.
If you want to.
If you want to. You do not have to.
I'm just writing a little ditty right now. You guys do yours, and I'll just go with the end.
Nice.
All right. Zia?
All right. Scheming podcast hosts starting their own anarchy. Sneak in dirty cards.
I actually have worked on it. That's pretty good. And I listened this time because I wrote mine early, and I got 2, and I did mine before I was
taking notes helps a a little bit.
It does. It does. Plus, it helped that I didn't finish my bottle when I wrote them. So I got no raunchy haikus, shenanigans with Jason. I need more bourbon.
Nice.
My second one, Filthy orgy card. It's projectile tater skins. Barrel milk is good.
Projectile tater skins, that's a little too close to home for me.
Oh, I feel like projectile tater skins would be a really good like move in a game. like one of
Dude,
those
that would be
things
an amazing move.
Nobody gets the joke unless you get it. Otherwise, it's like,
I feel like projectile tater skins could also be like its own card on Cards Against Humanity as well.
Oh, that would be a good one.
I feel good about this.
Totally out of context. It just sounds good. Yeah.
We actually have a couple. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk
Oh
over you, Jason.
no!
Is it my turn for haiku?
You can, unless if you're not ready. We have a couple in the chat room too. So.
Oh, I got one here. Yeah.
Alright.
Nice.
Sundering party, shot of whiskey, harsh Irish. Quest starts tomorrow. Like I said, it all syllable like.
All syllable.
You put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Exactly.
All right, so from Joe B, he has two of them in the chat room. We have Drinking RPG. Take a shot when you get dead.
Yeah.
Friendly fire, go. And then he also adds, DD. Oh, DD calls it quits. One of my fave podcasts gone. Someone broke the sheep. And then from, hold on, Toasty.
I don't think Toasty finished his thought here.
Yeah, Toasty, one more line, buddy.
575 queef. 575
queef.
It always works.
Well, he's a legit Drinking Quest fan. He was just probably drinking while he wrote it, and then he just didn't get to that fifth line.
Gave up. Yeah, he just...
Which, while he's coming up with that...
Thanks for that.
So, while Toasty comes up with his last line, we just want to throw out that we also have a little Kickstarter going that is fully funded for our Calm Before the Storm party the night before BlizzCon. We are currently at $11,801, and we are getting close to our goal of $15,000, a stretch goal of $15,000. So, if you're going to be out at BlizzCon, go check it out. We'll be the party beforehand. All right, Toasty's got one. Wait, I don't think he does. I think he just gave us another 5 and a 7. God damn it. Hold on. Boxman's got something.
All right. Jurassic Park 3.
Oh my god.
Such wonderful movie. Read Anarchy Plans.
Ooh, I do like the plug. Yeah. He's wrong about Jurassic Park 3. I'm starting to doubt his artistic ability, though. Yeah, Anarchy Plants is good. Okay, let me plug that for a second. No, that's all I got. AnarchyPlants.com. It's super easy. It'll be insanely popular in 6 months, so you'll see it around all the time anyway. But if you want to be one of the early adopters, it's there for you now.
Anarchy Plants. Yes.
All right. So Jason, where else can people find you?
DrinkingQuest.com for Drinking Quest, and I now have a professional site, so just JasonAnarchy.com, and it just links to a lot of the stuff that I've done, which is AnarchyPlants.com, DrinkingQuest.com, and HaikuWarrior.com. So you can check out all those things. HaikuWarrior.com just links to the Kickstarter right now, which is probably exactly what you want. If anyone wants to back that, you won't be disappointed. It's going to be a great final product, and it's only $20 to get delivered to your house in the U.S. and undercharged shipping elsewhere.
Well, I think that $20 thing is gone. I think now it's like $21.
Oh, is that? Oh, so it actually translates into what it? Oh, wow.
Yeah. So your $25 Canadian translates to 21 USD. But yeah, either way, it's about like $20.
That's
so
still not bad. Yeah.
That's the one that I did personally, and I feel that if you don't do at least I did the other one. I did the $30 one or the $24 USD because.
And then I write you a haiku on the back of a picture.
Yes, because that's what I wanted. I wanted a.
And are you Rafist or is it the other guy? I don't have the video up right now, so I can't.
Oh no, I'm Seraphis.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
which is also a great name. And you have the avatar with the beer, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. Much respect. But
Rafist,
right. That's also a great name.
Ray's the one who takes shots of Gatorade out of a prescription bottle.
Oh, okay. Well, he still has Fist in his name. That's still pretty solid.
He's also muted and talking to himself right now.
God damn it.
Oh, Okay.
God damn it.
That did happen. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, Ray. What about yourself? Where can people find you?
Twitter, it's RAYFYST and bird_RP.
No one followed that second one. God.
Shut up. And Rayfist is on Steam and Xbox One as well.
All right, and then I am Seraphis on Twitter. Xbox Live is Amish Mafia, 2 words. PlayStation Network is Seraphis Prime. Steam, I'm just Seraphis.
And then you can find me, Zia, on the Twitter at ITSXIA. You can find this show in all sorts of crazy places. We are on the internet, of course, at thesundering.net. And we also have a Twitter that you can follow at the Sundering. You can head over to our Facebook group, facebook.com/thesundering. And yeah, I always screw that one up. I always mispronounce what I'm trying to say on the Facebook thing.
And I'm the one who's been drinking.
And you've been really, I have no excuses. We also have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/Sundering Podcast for this episode in its video format, along with previous episodes, if you'd like to see our shining happy faces.
And also our gaming videos of us.
Yes, we do have a couple of them.
Playing games badly.
Yes. And then you can call us 323-SUNDER-0 or 323-786-3370. Call us instead of your exes. We are a public service. And you can email the show at thesundering.podcast@gmail.com. And we are a member of the D20 Catalyst group of folks. Head on over to d20crit.com for other fantastic, wonderful shows. And not all necessarily game related, too. So, and then finally, our intro is Boxing Fox, because ska music fits us pretty nicely, I felt like. So, thank you everyone who submitted Foffs tonight, questions, and of course, Mr. Anarchy for returning. And
thanks for having me.
Thanks for making another poor decision. We appreciate you coming back.
I will make that poor decision a third time in the future if you'll have me.
Nice.
Oh, yes, the trifecta.
We will hold you to that, sir.
When Haiku Warrior 2 comes out, I'll be back.
Part 2. Alright, fucking download us. Invite us into your home, your ears, your head. We just want to be inside of you.
Next time we podcast from Jurassic Park Drinking Quest Edition.
3.
Causing controversy around the
world. I hit the wrong button. I'm drunk.
Fuck Jurassic Park 3.
Shit, I could have made a fucking better episode.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.
I love the 20.